Good afternoon. COVID-19 has affected every sector across the world, and the tourist industry is among the hardest hit. As nations went into lockdown and airlines seized all flights except the essential ones, travelling came to an abrupt halt almost overnight. Hotels in Gibraltar were left empty, and travel agents were left scrambling trying to address customer concerns regarding cancelled holidays. Joining us this lunchtime is Franco Stuni, spokesperson for the Hoteliers Association, and Christian Mascareñas, a local travel consultant. Both of you gents have many years' experience in the tourism sector. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us in the studio today for Lunchtime Live. And if I may, Franco, it's been a tough few months for the sector, and slowly we're seeing some tourists come back into Gibraltar. How are your colleagues in the sector feeling now?
Well, yeah, good afternoon, Kevin. It's certainly been a very difficult few months. Since March, obviously the industry saw something that was unprecedented, not only in Gibraltar, sadly, globally. We have somehow survived the 3 or 4 months of lockdown. We've seen the huge reduction in flights. We've seen all our traditional leisure clients market disappearing, corporate travel coming to an end. So it was a really depressing and difficult time. Vast majority of us stayed open throughout. Others, for commercial reasons, decided to close. We're still there. Everybody is back on and hopeful that obviously there could be a new normal very soon. I think Gibraltar has done extremely well. Once again, with the advent of EasyJet starting again flights, and I have to say that was very welcoming, and I was personally very surprised that EasyJet came back with a number of flights. They came back, and Edinburgh, it's just around the corner, and obviously that is the bloodline of our industry. What we need to do now is trying to build and boost the confidence in the traveler again, and obviously news like quarantines in UK, etc., they don't help. There is still very leisure market coming to Gibraltar. The corporate travel is almost inexistent. So hotels are really dealing with, I would call it domestic market. Commercial shipping is keeping us going, and Gibraltar very often doesn't realize how important that market is for our sector, overall probably representing a third of the industry. So yeah, we're positive. We're trying to think outside the box. It's nobody's fault. It's very unfortunate. There are opportunities out there, and Gibraltar always had or traditionally has a tremendous ability to capitalize on opportunity and do well out of perhaps negative situation, and I'm sure and I'm confident that that will happen again.
Franco, we're going to be exploring the new normal and those possible opportunities that might arise out of COVID-19. But first I'd like to ask Christian, you deal with the incoming and Christian does with the outgoing. Christian, not even during the frontier closure did movement of people come to a complete halt. What we're facing is unprecedented. Your livelihood depends on people moving. How's it been for the last few months?
The last few months have been absolutely catastrophic for the travel trade, especially travel agents. I've experienced the ash cloud. I experienced 9/11. I've experienced quite a few in the past, catastrophes in the past, but none have been such as this one, when the whole world has literally stopped. And not only did it all stop, it all stopped at the same time. It became very difficult. The amount of honeymooners and family bookings that have had to be cancelled is just so disappointing. There's no words to describe what we've experienced. There's no. It's been such a difficult time for families and clients and ourselves, obviously, because we work with a personal touch. That's what differentiates us from booking online. So we hold our clients' hands throughout the booking stage. So, when you're building up somebody's honeymoon or somebody's holiday with their family, and it's all their money, their savings is going towards that, it's a beautiful moment. And to have all that cancelled, now we're already cancelling September, October. At the beginning of April, you had these bookings in September, you're thinking, well, maybe, but now it's literally 220 is being cut off completely. The travel trade now, obviously, we've been able to reassess the situation. Now we know what's happening. So we've provided a lot more flexibility. We've provided travel insurance that covers the COVID clause. So we'll be able to move forward and put the past behind us.
I mean, we talk about opportunity, but at the moment, everything is up in the air. Everything is uncertain. We don't know how long the situation will prolong itself. So how are you guys working with that? I mean, it changes on a day-to-day basis, doesn't it?
That is probably the biggest challenge everyone is facing and our industry is facing. We don't know exactly for how long this is going to last, and when there will be the lights at the end of the tunnel. And precisely for any business is one of the worst situations, not knowing the time factor. We are obviously in an industry which is very labor intensive. We employ a lot of people. We need people in order to do what we do. And apart from the commercial aspect, there are also moral issues. A lot of our employees, they've been working with us for a number of years, and in some cases decades, and obviously it's very difficult to plan ahead. So we're trying to realistically think out of the box and see how we can survive and reinvent ourselves, waiting for the traditional leisure market to come back and the corporate market to come back, and what can keep us afloat. In the meantime, we're trying to restructure our business in such ways where losses can be mitigated, and look for opportunities. And certainly there is an opportunity there because Gibraltar, having done so well during the pandemic, there is a message to send out there. Safety, it is paramount, and it will be paramount in the future, and it will influence traveler decisions. And I think there is an argument where Gibraltar should probably capitalize on having done so well during COVID, and the message of travel to Gibraltar, travel safe. It's a message that can pay dividends. The difficulty is trying to time in and get the right time. I think it's too soon at the moment to go out with that message, but when the time will come, I think that message will influence people's choice. It will certainly influence my choice if I'm thinking where I'm going to take my family on the next holiday, which probably it will not be destination driven, but it will be safety driven, that decision.
Important one there. Safety becoming a potent ingredient in the branding for the destination. Building confidence. Are people booking their holidays? How far are they going? Is the confidence slowly coming back? And again, safety, I suppose, being the key driver to attract tourism.
Kevin, the way the mentality I've come to now at the moment is we can't control what's going to happen in the future. We can't control what's going to happen. So what's the point of worrying? We have to do what's best today. We have to push what's possible today, which is 221 holidays. We've had quite a few people book already on low deposits, guaranteed refunds if they're not able to travel. But you can only look on beyond today at the moment, the world, the situation, because we have news updating every single day. Something different happens. So there's no point in worrying about the future. What's going to happen in the future? We can only live on today and hope that 221, or as soon as possible, everything goes back to normality. It's the only way we're able to think at the moment.
Christian, an important one. No doubt you deal with a lot of young people. We're out travelling. They're seeking new experiences, which seems to be the thing driving the tourist industry at the minute, seeking experiences. and destinations have been quick to reinvent themselves to provide those experiences. How is Gibraltar faring? Is perhaps this the opportunity for Gibraltar to rebrand itself?
Yeah.
That is definitely one of the aspects that Gibraltar is failing on.
Because if I may, Franco, apologies,
Okay.
Gibraltar's target demographic continues to be that older
over
generation.
50, it's an over 50 market. Our traditional market is an over 50
And they are
market, and that is the market that obviously has been mostly affected by the pandemic because of health reasons, because risk, because financial reason, because it's the market that is probably been affected by unemployment, etc. And the youngest market seems to be the one that is very eager to travel at the moment, and probably the only market that, generally speaking, is showing some surges. That is not the Gibraltar traditional market. So we need to reinvent ourselves a little bit. We cannot attract that market on the base of heritage apes, St. Michael Caves, Upper Rock, and what
Meetings,
we do.
exhibitions, which was relaunched as part of a GTB initiative last year.
In terms of obviously that's
The
the
mice
mice
market.
market. It's something that also Gibraltar could have opportunities, and is something that has been looked in the past. But yes, the reality is that if we want to attract a younger market, then, as you said, we need to think about the experience. We need to get into the waters. We need to have sports facilities. We need to be able to provide a completely different experience on what we have today, and that will take time. It's not a quick fix. It needs a vision, and it needs obviously funds and a little bit of reinventing ourselves. But the opportunities are there, and obviously Gibraltar has all the ingredients. He has the weather, he has the water around, so there is no reason why we cannot aspire to that market. We don't have the extensive beaches as much as those ones. They are also been improved tremendously, but there is a lot of activities that can be created within our Gibraltar.
Christian, how do you feel about the younger people? They're seeking the experiences. What sort of things are they seeking nowadays that perhaps we could implement?
Basically, I'm obviously a very passionate Gibraltarian as well, and I also think that you're sat on Sandy Bay and you're looking around, and there's so much scope to use with that sea that we have, our ocean, the Mediterranean Ocean. There's so much we can do. People are looking for road trips. They're looking for adrenaline. The younger people are looking for adrenaline rush, mountain biking, sailing, windsurfing, surfing. I saw some people surfing in Caleta yesterday. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight. I actually saw somebody windsurfing as well off Sandy Bay, which was another beautiful sight. You don't have to go to Tarifa. We can offer those options here. And as Franco says, with the beaches, there's so much scope to do around Gibraltar. Ladders could be added in lots of areas, and sand could be thrown in some areas near the beach. What we're doing as well, going out, it's been a big surge in camper vans. A lot of people looking for camping sites, bungalows, villas. As we mentioned before, pre-program, the villas this year has been tremendous. I'm actually going on one now. As soon as I finish this interview, I'm going out with a few friends. We've literally gone from Sandy Bay to a villa in Fuengirola to spend a week relaxing. We've just got to reinvent ourselves. And obviously, I know this one might not be Franco's favourite, but Gibraltar, apart from hotels, should be able to offer maybe villas or apartments for clients to come because of the safety issue, because you don't have the buffet and stuff like that. But I know Caleta themselves do have an apartment, the apartment issue. I'm sorry, you guys have mentioned that before.
And I second that. I mean, that is a market, is a market that Gibraltar doesn't do extremely well. But it's an upcoming market, and it's a typical example on Airbnbs are present in Gibraltar.
Yes, they are.
Last I looked at it, there are some 70 or 80 properties.
There is a good number. Yeah.
So that market is there. The Europa Suites complex, which is also a complex we are managing, is offering and catering exactly for the medium long-term land. So yes, that is an addition that to the product, and we are not against that. it's not a direct competition to the hotel.
No, it's different.
We're just offering something different and
Yes,
diversifying. So
yes.
we're all in favor of it.
You-
Absolutely.
Those projects announced by Caleta not too long ago, they're still going ahead despite the impact
Yes,
of COVID?
well, we were lucky enough to be able to start our project and demolish it. We finished just before lockdown in February. Yes, we are committed to it. We hope we could be off the ground with excavation and piling by the end of the year. Subject obviously to the right approvals and town planning, but yes, the project is going ahead. And from an operational point of view, this is also the right time to do it, considering we have very few clients in the hotel. Therefore, the disruption and the impact, there is always a positive aspect, is going to be minimum. So I'm very, very hopeful we will be able to start working very soon, because the winter months, November to February, March next year, is going to be the perfect time when to get rid of the messy job.
Brilliant. Guys, I told you, time flies, and this is a developing story. No doubt we're going to be talking much about it, and I look forward to talking to you guys, gents, again in the coming weeks. Before we go though, Franco, this is something that government has also got to partake and engage with the players in the industry. What would you ask from government?
Well, absolutely, and government has, and let me spend a word about it, because obviously the pandemic has been very, very difficult, but Gibraltar not only has done extremely well in terms of numbers and fatalities, etc., but I think the Gibraltar government has also done extremely well in supporting and assisting within the limitation, not only our industry, but the commercial and the economics of Gibraltar. Obviously, the shopping list is a mile long. My idea and my personal view is that when we think about Gibraltar and tourism in the future, we need to have a vision. We need to have a strategy. And before starting to plan anything or spending any money, I think we need to decide today what we want to be in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time, and where our market is going to come from. Having decided that, then we can think about how to achieve it. Gibraltar today needs to take stock and reinvent itself. The tourist product needs to be aimed to what is going to be the future of Gibraltar. And I don't necessarily have the answer to that. So it needs thinking.
Thank you, Franco. And Christian, the pandemic is beyond our control. Restrictions might be eased, they might be reimposed again. What would you ask from the traveller in order to try and help your sector?
Well, basically, I just want to cut this short as well. I'm still working on refunds. That's one of my biggest of what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to refund every single penny I owe my clients via my suppliers, and then try to push 221 as much as possible to get some confidence. You know, it's always nice to have that holiday on a low deposit, so you can dream away. 221. Am I able to go on holiday? But at least I've got the dream there in the background, you know, and hope that as soon as we get this vaccine or something and we can travel again. But there are fantastic offers, because obviously the hotels are very, very empty, so they're pushing up loads of great offers for 221, and it's probably the best time to start booking, to be honest. I know it sounds crazy, but it is the best time to start booking. The travel trade has adapted to the new world, the new norm, at the current norm, sorry, and I actually think it's the best time, and it helps the whole industry, because if these hotels know that they've got 60-70% occupancy already for next summer, you know, they go to work with a different aspect. Because if they look at the calendar next year and there's no occupancy at all, it's very difficult. It'd be very dark. So I think the people have to trust in that travel trade and go back to booking their holidays, because before the pandemic we used to book 2 or 3 holidays in the same year. And just trust in and just hope for the best. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's this. We're going to get out of this. Humankind, we will get out of this.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to meeting you again, and hopefully be talking about those exciting new projects, rebranding and new experiences and positive developments. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That's Lunchtime Live on this Friday. Roger Stengel will be with you in 2 weeks' time. Good afternoon.